Mythic Swag, the People's Guild. A passion for making monsters can't be killed. We breed the best pets, learn a lot, no regrets. Join us in creating excellence. Purple on our back, Mythic Squad on the chest. It's the Mythic Squad. It's Mythic Squad.
Hey, as you may know, I am Ogre, and we are here to talk about some hunts. In particular, we're going to use the classic, the original, the first 3 classes you could use in Void Hunts. I'm going to go over why I use what I use and walk you through what I do when I do it. So here we go. I'm going to use the first 3 that were available: Priest, Archer, and Knight. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a level 11 Priest, a level 12 Archer, and a level 13 Knight. What that's going to do is going to create the average level of level 12. So I'm going to be fighting boars that are level 12, and I'm going to have my primary meat shield, that Knight up front, 1 level higher, so he'll hopefully be a little bit stronger, and we'll successfully make it through here. Let's get it on. All right, now, I've chosen this Priest for my level 11 Priest. You can see he's got pretty good intelligence and wisdom. So he's going to do pretty, all right. So he's got decent mana right here. He's got all right health. And I'm not as worried about dexterity, agility, and all that because he's a magic user. His primary role is going to be to heal my guys and maybe do a little pot shot here and there. I'm not looking for much damage out of this guy. But he's still got a dex of 20, which is on par with the Mad Boars. So good to go. So I'm going to put him in my back position, farthest away from the enemy, so he's least likely to get hit. I'm going to have to scroll up a bit to get to my Archer. Where are you, Archer? There you are. So you see this Archer, he's got a 23, so better than the average. A solid luck, so excellent for critical hits, and good strength, so he's going to do a lot of physical damage, which the Archer's damage is based upon physical damage. See also he has decent mana as well as health, so should make for a pretty solid Archer. To support my Knight up front. Now let's see here. Go ahead and check these 2 out. And we see that this guy's got a dex of 15. Not so great. Might not hit as many times, although I do have some equipment on him. That Boar sword, which will help him, or the Gore blade. That'll help him hit a little bit more. Versus the 17 over here. Agility of 21, so he's going to go quicker, and he's going to be able to evade physical attacks a little bit better than this guy would. Luck is an 18 versus 20, pretty close. Strength of 33, so when he does hit, he's going to do lots of damage. Let's look. We got 104 on mana, big plus there. 848 versus 688. So we're going to go ahead and use this Jackaroo right here. And then it shows you your 3 heroes that you're using. Now, one of the other things, in the previous video where I went over the statistics and the heroes themselves, I talked about the abilities in the back. Those aren't in play yet, but for the player classes, there's 4 currently, 3 originals, which is what we're using here. And we'll go over that 4th one, which is Warrior, shortly. And I don't know, Void Hunts, the new one is coming soon. Going to fight some rock box, and hopefully thereafter we'll see some new classes that we'll be able to use with their codexes or their abilities. So if you click Select Abilities, you see a tree here that you can use. At each level, you can use one of these abilities. So you have Prayer of Healing to heal your party members. You have Holy Light, and which does a little bit of damage. And then you also have Cleanse, that cleansing gift. I like Cleansing Gift. At layer 2, I select Blessings of Light because that increases the chance of having a critical heal, and that's good. That gives them more hit points. Next, I have a good old Team Heal right here. It doesn't cleanse them, so it won't get rid of any negative status effects, but it will heal everybody. That Cleanse is a single one, and it'll get rid of those negative status effects. And then up here, I'll bop between Holy Beacon and Prayer of Protection. If my priest has a very high agility and ends up going first, a lot of times I'll use Prayer of Protection. That way I can put it it basically gives a barrier or additional hit points to that hero that you cast it on. This one, however, is a heal, but it's also a follow-on heal. So for the next 4 turns, they're going to get some hit points back at the beginning of every turn without my priest having to do anything, which is why I like that one. So that's my priest and why I did what I did there. Archer, I'm all about stacking the attacks, right? So what happens here is I will usually go with my multi-shot first, and that's a passive, which just helps you with my critical shot chance again. And then this one here is a rapid shot that gets a combo to increase that CSC by 30%. So critical chance by 30% if you used multi-shot, which is this one. So what I'll do typically is go back and forth, boom, then boom, boom, then boom. Now, sometimes I like this 2 stone or 1 small stone because it hits 2 guys. So I'll do that sometimes at the beginning just to kind of randomize it and see which one's going to get that critical strike. And then I'll pick on that one because it's got lower hit points. Finally, we have our meat shield up front with all those hit points, 848, 604, 466. And for these abilities, now, once again, all of these abilities cost mana, which is why it's important. Even if it's just a warrior or a knight or some other frontline beefcake tank, you still got to worry about that mana, which means their intelligence and their wisdom. Otherwise, you'll have a low mana and you'll run out early on and not be able to use these awesome attacks you have. So let's talk about abilities. Sometimes I will use the challenge. Now, this is a method of taunting. To intimidate. That was right. To taunt your enemy. This can be useful in the boar hunts. You'll see a lot of other people running it. I'm all about doing max damage and crushing them quickly. So that's why I utilize the Mighty Strike. Now, typically, I will also run with like an archer, a warrior, and a knight. You'll see that one next. But in this situation where you've got that priest, so you're down 1 damage dealer, you only have 2 damage dealers. That's where you'll see a lot of people use taunt to try and get that mama boar to attack this knight, your meat shield, which has all the hit points. But I'm going to stick with Mighty Strike just because I like it. All right, for honor, this is a passive. It just beefcakes your hero up again. This one right here has the ability to daze a target, which can be very useful. It makes them go later. So if they were going to go right after your knight, you might have a hero or 2 that gets to go before that enemy now. So I like that one. And then this is another passive skill that once again makes my tank even tankier. All right, here we go. Once you have your heroes selected, you've selected all of their abilities. Then you have to pay your guild supply fees and start your void hunt. Here we go. Fingers crossed. Let's crush them on first time. So now you see the transaction is pending. I sent it off to the blockchain to be recorded. And you can see there that the average level of my heroes is 12. Because I have a 13, a 12, and 11. So this is the level of boars that you're going to be fighting. These guys are all at level 12. All right, let's go ahead and just do that 1 small stone first, just for fun, to see what happens, see if I can get a critical strike on one of these guys. And nope, I just hit that front dude. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to daze this front guy just to make him go a little bit later, as well as give the heroes behind him daze resistance. That way, if one of these 2 little boars, because they can attack those backline characters, position 2 and position 3. So I'm going to daze them, as well as give these guys daze resistance, just to make sure they can't hurt me. And I got my daze off, and you can see it right down here. You'll also notice that he now has daze resistance for 2 turns, even though the daze only lasts for 1 turn. So that's something to keep in mind. Make sure you're checking on the different status effects and what they do. And you see on my priest now, I have 3 turns, a 60% resistance to daze. So that will be helpful. Now, unfortunately, all of my spells are healing spells. I can't really do much because they're all pretty high in health. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a basic attack and pew pew on that baby boar. Do a little bit of damage. Not going to do much, but every little bit stacks up. See, now Mama Boar did a little bit of damage. I could actually use a heal on that guy. And he's bleeding, so I'm probably going to use my cleanse. Right? Because you see he's got 2 stacks. So he's actually got 34 damage he's taken every turn, which is pretty significant. So on my priest next turn, I'm going to go ahead and heal him. But now, since I've already dazed him and he has dazed resistance, I'm not going to try and daze him again. I'm just going to go ahead and max attack him. And now I will use my Holy Beacon on, my Cleanse on that first position. Other people might have said use a Holy Beacon and you can cleanse them next turn, but either way, gets rid of those 2 double stack of, from the double stacks of bleed and gets rid of those. So I like that. All right. Now you see Mama Boar has taunted this guy. Remember I mentioned that as one of the skills for your knight is they can taunt. When you see this red cross, it means they've been taunted. This knight will only be able to attack Mama Boar because Mama Boar is the one that taunted him. That'll come into play later on when you see a wild charge or a rampage coming up. It stops them. Well, it stops the rampage. The wild charge, you would have had to get the taunt beforehand, at which point they couldn't have done the wild charge. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a regular attack on Mama. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to daze Mama, or try to slow her down a little bit, and I got it. Bam! So you see it decrease her initiative by 500, which will come into play later in the next update. You'll see a time bar. Right now, this is kind of your time bar. It just gives you the order of operations, who's going next on down the line. Soon, we're going to have a time bar where you can see, like, if you daze them and it lands, what that's going to do to their initiative. It won't just be a magical number. They're like, okay, what does 500 mean? All right, so now let's go ahead and do that heal on this puppy. Bring him back up because he's, again, my front line tank. You saw them attack my second and third position, as you can see by their decreased health. But still, most of the attacks are going to go to him. All right, now you saw last time I did the multi-shot, and you had a green box around rapid shot, which means that you got a little bit of a bonus. Bam, I did 147 and 173. Lots of solid damage there. All right, and here we go. See, that right there was that status effect of the Holy, the Holy Beacon. So now for the next 4 turns, beginning of this night's turn, it gets 44 hit points just for being alive still. And you still see the red plus. You can check it down here. I'm still taunted for 1 more turn, so I got to do at least 1 more turn to Mama Boar. She's already been dazed. I'm going to go ahead and just do minimal damage because I don't want to do too much damage or bring her down too low. Otherwise, a heal is going to happen. These baby boars are able to heal. They can heal each other or a Mama Boar. They each get a heal, and then they have to wait 5 turns before they can use it again. So the trick is to get them so that you kill them with using minimal heals, right? They call it nuzzle, but you want them to heal minimal time so you have less damage you have to do. And you also want to trigger those deaths when Mama Boar is charging or charging her rampage or right afterwards where she's exhausted, because that's the only time she will, the wild charge, because that's the only time she won't rampage on you after you kill those baby boars. And you'll see this. All right. So right now, I could probably go ahead and use a team heal. I see that he's still bleeding. How many stacks? Is it just 1? Yeah, he's only got 1, so he's only taking 17 damage. Not that big a deal. I do a team heal just to bring everybody back up pretty close to full. So Holy Circle will heal everybody, and you'll see all of their health go up. Ooh, that right there did that. I think that was just a regular gore, but they have a position, or they have a potential to make your heroes swap positions, and they can even pull the guy all the way back from the back to the front. Now you see this front guy, they already got nuzzled. That's the heal. I did it last turn, I missed it. Didn't talk about it. My apologies. So here we go. Now we just want to get this guy as close to being dead as possible. Bam, big crit hit. Ooh, 71. I don't like my archer taking damage. Ooh, another big hit. Pardon me. So you see that this guy in the front is the red one. He also goes right after my priest. I'm going to go ahead and try and daze him just to knock him back a little bit. Try and knock him down that chain. There we go. Now my archer gets to go before him. Good stuff. OBKB. So now what do we want to do? How far down is this hero? He's got 456 of the 6-0 something, I think it was. So down about 150 points. My cleansing gift is only going to do 99, so that's a good option for my front line. Bring that archer back up close to the top. All right, let's go ahead and use that combo since it's active and do a lot of damage, hopefully. Let's get a crit or two, baby. Nope, but I did do damage to Mama, which is not good because now this baby boar is probably going to heal that Mama, unfortunately. Oop, it didn't. Nice. And we got the wild charge. That's what we were looking for. When you see those lines come up, Mama Boar is channeling. You have one turn to get off as much damage as you can before that wild boar or that charge comes through. Hopefully your guys won't get dazed and they'll be able to attack back because then Mama Boar is exhausted for a couple turns and you have a chance to try to murk those two baby boars. So even though he has daze resistance, I'm going to use daze or the Forever Vigilant to try to daze him. But more importantly, I'm going to do it to give 60% daze resistance to my back two characters. All right. And right here, everybody's pretty much at full health. Now, these guys are pretty low on mana, so what I'm going to do is utilize this turn to get a mana potion out there. Sorry about that. All right. So now, since that's done and it's not charged, I'm going to go ahead and two-stone, hopefully do some damage on both of these guys, maybe get a crit on this guy if I'm lucky and kill this one. Oh, got the crit up front and killed him. So now we got this guy. And Mama Boar hadn't even done her wild charge yet. Heck yeah. Ooh, missed my archer. Nice. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and get some family health going on. Heal everybody up with that holy circle. Now I want to do max damage to this baby right here. Come on, let's see if we can kill it off. You see, he goes twice, and then there's Mama Boar all the way down there. Max damage. I want to kill this baby boar. Oh, yeah, that's a big hit. He's only got 126 left. I like it. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and give a mana vial to my archer because he's low also and may not be able to cast a spell. Or I'm sorry, can't use his ability, i.e. hurt the baby boar. And I want him to do max damage so we can knock that baby boar out before Mama Boar goes again. So we got the combo. We'll go ahead and use it. It might do max damage over here, but that's all right because my warrior or my knight should be able to kill him with the baby boar if the archer didn't do it, which she did. So now I am golden. And he has slow resistance, not taunt resistance. Always good to hover over it instead of assuming. So we're going to go ahead and try to daze Mama Boar to get a few more turns in before she can even attack back. Did not get it. It's all right, though. That's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and use that finer mana vial on my priest. In reality, I could probably save that and not use it. But why not? They're still free. Ha! Use them up. All right. Now, all I got to do is take down Mama Boar, and it's game over. Max damage. Max damage. Pow! Got him. And here we go. On this one right here, the rapid shot, if there's only one enemy left, all three of those shots will go to that one enemy and do max damage. So I might be able to murk Mama Boar right here. Bam, there she goes. Victory is ours. We have won. Now the fun part, claiming the hunt rewards. Oh, I clicked it too quick. Come on, let me hunt, or let me collect my rewards. There we go. Now, number one, I'm going to get way more experience from a boar hunt than I will from any other profession quest or anything like that. Number two, you have a chance of scoring some awesome equipment that you can't even build yet and is not, the durability is not active yet because they haven't done crafting. So these are just bonus weapons and armor and stuff that you can utilize if you got some, but I did not. I got the base of 4 tiers. Womp womp. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll be coming back with some more of these, so look out for those. Ogre out. Love you, fam.